Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. The U.S. Congress is considering more than 24 cryptocurrency and blockchain proposals, and members of the 116th U.S. Congress have now proposed a total of 32 bills related to cryptocurrency and blockchain technology this year. They cover a wide range of concerns, possible use cases, and new approaches to regulating, integrating, and curtailing the use of the emerging technology, depending on the players, their activities, and their goals. Citing data from the Value Technology Foundation, which is a non-profit think tank that's focused on blockchain, and Forbes reports that the U.S. legislators introduces 12 bills that are expressly designed to curb the use of cryptocurrency in criminal activities like money laundering, terrorism, and trafficking. While cryptocurrency has its early roots tied to the darknet, with Bitcoin serving as a popular medium of exchange on the now defunct Silk Road, it has been since evolved, requiring legislation that can support it, as well as monitoring its use among criminals, tax evaders, and adversaries. There's a little bit of history for the new investors, so I'm kind of going through a little more of the detail than I typically would on an article like this one. But it is good that we're getting more interest from the senators and the Congress and the other SEC levels that are controlling all of these currencies and regulations. So right now, this is great to see them bring the discussion back out into the front again in regards to the digital currencies. So one of the proposed laws seeks to address the economic activity of countries such as Venezuela that have created their own cryptocurrency to sidestep economic sanctions, and 3 bills aim to help banks and regulatory agencies identify criminal activities that involve the use of digital currencies. And following this channel, if you've been here for a little while, then you know we've discussed Venezuela and Lithuania are running their central bank digital currencies, the CBDCs, on NEM, N-E-M, and its ticker symbol would be XEM. Another connection to NEM is a point of sale and a Bob, the first blockchain point of sale and the first blockchain cell phone that is based on blockchain and Android through Pundi X. So Pundi X now has a new coin coming out. I believe it's either out or it's about to be released. I haven't followed up on that recently, but it's called the Pundi X NEM, or I believe it's actually Pundi X XEM. I have to follow up on that one. I know we've discussed it. Not something I personally, to be transparent, will be holding, but I do hold Pundi X, and I'm a big fan for a long-term hold. Moving beyond that, now that you know Venezuela actually and Lithuania is using NEM as their digital currency. Lawmakers also submitted 13 bills for the regulation and treatment of digital assets and blockchain. Concerns over Facebook's Libra project, which planned to roll out a new global currency before pivoting earlier this month to a new goal of launching several different stablecoins pegged to local currencies, led to a barrage of regulatory proposals. The Managed Stablecoins Act, or Securities Act of 2019, is an effort to classify Libra and other stablecoins as securities that are regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. And 5 bills proposed the government's use of blockchain technology. One directs the establishment of a blockchain working group that will recommend a definition of this DLT and study its potential applications. The 2 most recent bills cover the concept of the digital dollar in a bid to ensure faster delivery at the economic stimulus benefits to Americans affected by the issue at hand. And we discussed, I believe it was yesterday's article on the digital dollar that Crypto Mom was discussing, having that finished and completed before the end of her term. I believe it ends in the end of May, and she was hoping to have that released by June. Another thing I wanted to get into, as I had a discussion earlier on Twitter today with the coin market, let's see what it's called, fair totally blanking on that one. The fair value coin market or something like that. Coin fair value. Sorry. Reading coin market, my mind just couldn't move beyond that. Binance acquired CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap is pretty much where you go to see all the cryptocurrencies, digital assets. We don't really need to go into this article, just really the discussion point. CoinMarketCap has always followed all of the digital assets and cryptocurrencies from the beginning and follows up and allows you to view the history and the price and total assets, total value, et cetera, all the details that you could possibly imagine and be interested in the 5,000 available cryptocurrencies. If it's not quite on the list that you're scrolling through, go up to the little microscope at the top and you can type in and you'll find one of the 5,000 that you're interested in. Point is, I do agree with Brad Garlinghouse that only about 1% will survive. I think he says 99% will fail, but I like to say 1% will survive. Ends up with the same point, with the same destination. Having said that, pardon me, the fair value is based on, it's like utility. And the thing that is pretty interesting and exciting with the CoinMarketCap, it is one of the largest go-to places in the industry for any asset. But they've always based their price off of what we call speculation for the new investor. And they are moving away from that and then basing the new price as well on speculation. So that's a pretty exciting thing that this year, let me just scroll through the article really quick because I believe the deadline is around June. So let me see if we can find something in there that connects to that and correlates to that date as well. I'm not finding anything immediately that's popping out at that. Feel free to, if you know the date, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm not sure. For some reason, I'm thinking around like June or September, something like that. All right, moving on beyond, we have Nasdaq is using R3's Corda for managing digital assets. Typically, when I think of R3 Corda, the first thought that comes to mind is XRP being the favorite. But I saw something in a discussion with Crypto Eddie this week that said Corda has now added a few more coins to their roster in the Corda options. It's been a little bit hectic week, so I haven't been able to pull that up myself personally to find out exactly which one. I will look into that this week. But she did mention something about not only being an exclusive to XRP any longer for Corda. So I'm pretty interested to see who they've added. As a personally at this time, I do not know all of the new additions that she was discussing. But again, we know that XRP is connected to the planet on everything that is enterprise, wholesale, and institution. Nothing performs as a bridge asset like XRP. And that's why I think it will have a high price over the next few years. But again, it does not mean that it will not take off quickly at this time either. But it will only increase no matter where it ends up at the end of the year. Going to this article a little bit, Nasdaq Stock Exchange has partnered with R3 to offer a platform for digital asset marketplaces on the Corda blockchain, the companies announced Wednesday. Capital markets participants can now use Corda to support the issuance, trading, settlement, and custody of digital assets, said Joanne Toll. That's Nasdaq's head of digital assets. The ledger technology is integrated with the Nasdaq financial framework, which also connects to several other capital markets, and including matching engines, surveillance, data discovery, and reporting services. The relationship with R3 plays an important role in Nasdaq's development of solutions that support the creation of dynamic and trusted digital asset marketplaces, told CoinDesk in an email. And R3's Corda platform is designed specifically for highly regulated environments, and their platform fits well into our technology ecosystem. In 2019, Nasdaq listed an AI-powered index of the crypto market's top 100 coins alongside its traditional indices like the S&P 500 and the Dow. And a month before that, the exchange listed a new DeFi, a decentralized finance index. So it looks like things are starting to pick up their pace and speed is starting to increase. It's going to get more and more exciting day after day, week after week, and month after month until end of year. On the next article, actually before we get into that, let's see. XRP's current price is 23.18 cents. And it looks like it may not be going back down. And the article we shared, I believe yesterday or the day before, said it's on its way to 28 cents. So let's see where it goes for the rest of this week. 23.18 is nice. It's hard to beat when it's low because you want to just buy the dips. But to be honest, the time is now. Let's get this thing moving. All right. YouTube suspends Ripple CTO's channel days after XRP scam lawsuit was filed. And this is one of those train wrecks that you could see coming before they started the engines. Google on YouTube has suspended the channel of Ripple's CTO David Schwartz just days after the firm launched a lawsuit against it over its failure to stop XRP's giveaway scams on its platform. According to Schwartz, who goes by Joel Katz online, YouTube suspended his channel for impersonation, something the scammers have done to promote fake XRP giveaways, sometimes with hijacked accounts from popular YouTubers. And just to be clear, if you ever see anything in our comments section about giving away any kind of digital asset, we do not give those away. If it is on Twitter, there's nothing for us to send. We randomly choose people with the XRP tip bot and we send it to you. There's nothing we would ever do. You would just instantly receive it. Other than that, there are no scams, but we do tend to do our donations directly to the foundations who are actually helping a lot of people and to a lot of the new investors, because it's a pretty exciting thing. I mean, that's what we're doing here as a financial investment with the new digital assets. So it's kind of cool to tip in them. It's really fun. But David Schwartz states, weirdly at YouTube, just decided to suspend my channel at Joel Katz for impersonation. I wonder who they think I was impersonating. And I did see it on YouTube this morning. Didn't think about getting a screenshot, but when I checked it, it said something about this channel is no longer available. Click unsubscribe if you no longer want to see this notification. But obviously they had removed David Schwartz's channel, so it's not like you could unsubscribe. But at the same time, after having come back to double check, it was already removed by YouTube, so there was nothing further I could do. And the whole article, what this article is discussing is, I never personally saw the David Schwartz. The fake giveaways I saw were always of Brad Garlinghouse, someone using a fake thing of him. And if you notice the picture, actually, let me just point it out as we discussed. If you're on Twitter and you're new, or you're on YouTube, here's David Schwartz. Obviously, this is a highlighted, so it's live. It's going to go directly to his Twitter. This is his name, at Joel Katz, so you know it's the real David Schwartz. Click that. It'll send you right to his Twitter. Brad Garlinghouse, you can tell right here, a lot of the scam names where it would say David Schwartz would be like at and like a dozen numbers or something that doesn't even correlate. Same with Brad Garlinghouse, and besides the two not aligning and matching up, you can see the picture. It's very pixelated 99% of the time for the scammers. And another thing too, you're going to notice for a lot of the scammers, typically they have under 100 subscribers. Some of them have 0 or 10. And sometimes the scammers, you can tell by the pics, and they may just have been scamming for so long they might even have a physical higher number of subscribers. But what's going on was Ripple had brought out a lawsuit with YouTube being owned by Google being an investor in the startups of Ripple and Stellar. And actually, Hedera Hashgraph is a pretty interesting currency as well. I do not invest in Hedera Hashgraph, or Hashbar, whatever it's called. You can find it. Feel free to discuss that if you want in the description below. It's not something I'm going to invest in, but either which way, it's good to know that Google's invested in them if you are an investor in that asset, because you know it's probably going to succeed. Point being, if you're going to sue a company, expect them to react. So this was something you could see coming a mile away. I want to finish off this video with a thought. Believing in yourself is the first secret to success. Alright guys, remember, this is not financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. And we will catch you in the next one.